It's Madden NFL 22, and tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Patriots and the Hawks, and it comes your way next.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Century Link Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the New England Patriots. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Super Bowl 49 was thrilling. What's in store here? The Pats and Seahawks are underway. This is DJ Reed returning. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. For the first time, we get a look at the veteran Russell Wilson as he gets set to lead yet again this Seattle Seahawks offense.
Gave the commencement address at the University of Wisconsin a couple of years ago. One of the most popular players ever to pull on the uniform there. Beginning of his career, he was a so-called game manager. Take care of the football and rely on the defense. Now, in this stage of his career, the offense runs through him, and it runs very well.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, and he's got room. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now Wilson, option right. Showed that brute strength, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. Now it's Carson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
And that guy just keeps getting better, and I'm talking about Tyler Lockett, who just made that nice catch there for a first down. Now in his 7th season with Seattle, last year may have been his finest yet. And even 100 catches, many of them of the spectacular variety. Paired with DK Metcalf, a heck of a dynamic duo for the Seahawks.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Here's Carson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork, right?
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. It's the former Michigan man, Chase Winovich, who gets in there to bring him down. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it 2nd down and 12. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Being chased out left. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it they're picking up the 1st down.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down and inside the 5-yard line.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Carson. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here. If it was close, sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall.
And he is in for a Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, that drive felt like it took up an eternity. We finally have some action on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but plenty of action prior to, because that drive took up all the 1st quarter before we spilled into the 2nd. And finally, points were registered.
On the other sideline, they're chomping at the bit just to get the football. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Taylor now from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. And the Patriot offense ready to go to work for the 1st time, and leading them out, their quarterback in his 2nd year with New England at 11th overall, the former MVP Cam Newton.
And his task in this situation is making sure that his team knows that there's a sense of urgency, yet somehow still stays calm. Because your natural impulse, your first possession is not until the 2nd quarter, is you got to attack right away. Throw something big at them right away. Yeah, you got to move the ball, but maybe be a little bit careful in doing so.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, but it's going to be 2nd down. Newton now to throw. His throw incomplete. Jacoby Myers, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. Now Newton. Open man right side, Myers. Yeah, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the 1st down right near the 24. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
3rd and long, it's Newton. Open man is Myers. And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that, as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. The return is Reed. A solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Out comes Chris Carson in the Seattle offense. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
This to the sideline and nearly intercepted. Oh, he had that in his grasp. Couldn't get it. Instead, it'll bring up 3rd down. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it downfield. If one piece of that puzzle gets disrupted, it affects the entire chance of success.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. That time trying to find Gerald Everett, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Dietrich Wise Jr. showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4.
And offensive line play and pass protection has been a problem in recent years for the Seahawks, and more importantly, for quarterback Russell Wilson. They allowed 48 sacks last year, the 5th most in the NFL. They vowed to improve.
Under pressure, they got him again. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Gunnar Olszewski deep for New England. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet, the little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
And Myers able to knock it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So as it turns out, a 2-play drive resulting in the field goal. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We saw a strong first half out of quarterback Russell Wilson. First things first, though. Let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for New England. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Both these teams going through their final adjustments before heading back out of the locker room. Time for us to go back out to Lumen Field, where we rejoin Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Patriots trailing here, but they will have the football first as the third quarter is underway. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. With the Patriots taking over to start quarter number 3, and they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
They start the second half with Michel on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. Well, he's not the starter coming in, getting his first carry off the bench. That's not the way to earn more carries.
You have to stay in the game, even if you're not on the field, right? Stay mentally sharp, stay ready. And above all, when you get into the game, hold on to the football. Don't let the other team have it.
Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. This is Carson. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you? Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll try to run with Carson, and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson taking it in from a yard out. And the Seahawks are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on third down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes our score 17-0. Touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. The Pats at the line ready to go. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. 8 yards to go on second down. From the gun, here's Newton. And his throw here is incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Newton to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. To throw is Newton. He gets it to James White. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Newton throwing again. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the...
The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Throwing is Newton. That's complete into the hands of Myers. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Open man is Eskridge. That's complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Wilson's going to tuck and run. Fights loose. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the 1st. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
And he gets it down to the 32.
I'm the best in the game. I'm the best in the game.
They go back to Carson here on 2nd. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So the victory here for Seattle, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys are nails out there.